the most docile daughter-in-law in Li village. While other wives have suffered beatings, I alone am spared. Not only am I never struck, but my husband, Li Junqiang, also hides the only 2 chicken wings on the dinner table to slip them to me in secret. The reason is simple. They were all kidnapped here, whereas I was abandoned by my parents and taken in by the Li family. Junqiang and I grew up together like childhood sweethearts, and I am duty-bound to repay the lease. Junqiang, come quickly. My eyes lit up at once. Whenever Junqiang called me thus, I knew my mother-in-law had slaughtered a chicken again. Each time Li village acquired new goods, mother-in-law would kill a chicken, though drumsticks and wings were always reserved for the men. She claimed that men who ate chicken drumsticks and wings would stand firm on the ground and soar on wings. Before I could fathom how one might both stand firm and soar, Junqiang had already secretly placed the chicken wings in my bowl. Eat Junqiang. Have more. He was handsome, my childhood companion, and always took my side. I had loved him since infancy. As I quietly gnawed the bone, using my canines to crush it and savor the broth in the pot, I whispered to him, "Which family is it this time?" "Uncle Funyan's. He's getting on in years and finally managed to arrange a marriage." Mom went to reason with the bride and secured this sum. Beneath the table, Junqiang held up 3 fingers. 300 yuan? I exclaimed. The last time Uncle Nan married a wife, he'd only paid 200. She must be incredibly beautiful for 300 yuan. I want to see her. Junqiang saw through my curiosity at a glance. Certainly not as beautiful as you. My face flushed with shame, and I playfully struck him twice. If you want to see her, wait until Uncle Funyan's wife is with child. I nodded. Li village was remote, with more men than women. Many struggled to find wives. Some families even shared one wife among brothers, leaving the paternity of any child born a mystery. Funyan was 32 with 2 younger brothers, both of marriageable age, and the family was poor. Presumably, the wife they had purchased at such expense would be shared among the brothers. Women brought to Li village, whether spirited or meek, all without exception sought to escape. Thus my mother-in-law was needed to reason with them, breaking down the truth bit by bit until it sank in. If they still didn't see reason, a good beating would follow. If all else failed, pregnancy would break their spirit. But I never imagined Uncle Funyan's new wife would be such a vile, despicable creature. Barely married into Li village, before even conceiving, she began to seduce my Junqiang. How did I uncover this? Junqiang worked at the village committee, and recently the town mandated live streaming to sell poverty alleviation fruits. It was during one broadcast that I heard that little siren flirting with my husband. Traditionally, Li village forbade wives from leaving the house, let alone visiting the committee. After all, every woman here except me was kidnapped. If their families found them, the money spent would be wasted. Yet this temptress was cunning. Though not on camera, her saccharine voice slithered through the internet into my ears. Cloyingly affectedly sweet, she called Junqiang Brother Chong, with a fluttering lilt that even I, a woman, found repulsive. On the public live stream, I watched Junqiang's ears redden instantly. That night he returned home and without eating, pushed me down in a rough, impulsive frenzy more aggressive than usual. Before I could protest, he'd exhausted me. Gasping, I clawed his arm. "Why was Uncle Funyan's new wife in your office today?" Junqiang lit a cigarette, his handsome features blurring in the smoke. "The new wife is obedient. Uncle Funyan dotes on her. He brought her along to the committee today while running errands." I stayed silent, seething. "Jealous," he mocked. I turned away, refusing to engage. But he was relentless, pulling me into another round despite my mood. Later, when his thunderous snores filled the room, I pressed against the wall and heard father-in-law curse next door. "Barren slut." When all was quiet, I retrieved a pink pill from my pillow, chewed and swallowed it dry. To my surprise, I encountered the new wife early the next morning. Uncle Funyan must truly dote on her. She'd been kidnapped just 2 days yet wandered freely. I was furious, but the moment I saw her, my anger dissolved. She was breathtakingly beautiful, incongruous in this rugged mountain village. I can only describe her as a phoenix descending among common hens. I awkwardly tugged at my clothes, suddenly conscious of my unwashed face and mismatched attire. How I paled in comparison. Stranger still, she showed no fear, even offering a dimpled smile as she regarded me warmly. "You're Junqiang, right?" "I'm Ryua." Funny and Gidge worried I'd be lonely and sent me to play with you. I stubbornly refused to speak or meet her gaze, but Junqiang pushed me with a knowing smirk. "Go on, spend time together. I need to talk to Uncle Funyan." His eyes raked over Ryua like a hook, not sparing me a single glance. I was adopted by the Li family at a young age, and was the most beautiful girl in Li village. Li Junqiang's possessiveness over me was evident to all villagers. Unlike other women in the village, I wasn't chained at home, nor shared among multiple men like those bought by poor families. Junqiang even took me to school, fearing I'd be kidnapped if he took his eyes off me. "You'll always be my Xiangxiang," he'd say. But the moment Ruyue appeared, he didn't glance at me. In this village, I knew all too well what losing a man's protection meant. Ruyue held my hand. Her delicate white fingertips were as smooth as peeled green onions, without a single callus. "Xiangxiang, have you been to town? I just came and want to buy clothes," she asked softly. I hated it. Buy, what's there to buy? No woman here ever escapes. The next second I lunged forward, sinking my teeth into her wrist. Then I grabbed a brick and smashed it into her face. "Whore. Seductress. Using that fox face to seduce my man. You deserve to die." I was brutally beaten for biting Ruyue and smashing her face, turning the beautiful bride into a swollen, useless mess. Even Uncle Funyun, who always smiled at me, kicked me. I ched on the ground, shielding my face with my hands, letting my back take the blows, knowing Junqiang would soften at the sight of my unharmed face. "Are you so jealous you can't stand someone prettier?" my father-in-law shouted as he beat me. "She's a college student, a dancer. Compared to her, you're nothing. Better to beat you to death, and buy Junqiang a dancer instead." Through tears, I looked at Junqiang, who smoked silently. Uncle Funyun interjected. "Your Xiangxiang messed up my wife. Pay 500 yuan or let your wife stay with me for 2 days. His leering gaze made me sick. "Not possible," Junqiang finally said. I breathed a sigh of relief too soon. "My mother will care for your wife," he added. Before I could react, Uncle Funyun chained my mother-in-law and dragged her away. That night, I clung to Junqiang, begging him to bring her back. He pinned my face to the wall, ignoring my pleas. Next door, grunts and heavy breathing filled the air. A month later, Mother returned, limping, vacant-eyed, reeking of decay. That night, Father announced, "I'll buy another wife. Xiangxiang can take over the reasoning tasks." Mother collapsed, dropping a soup bowl. The stench of pork and mushrooms made me gag. Then I realized I was late. The room erupted in excitement at the news of my pregnancy. Junqiang's eyes lit up. Even Father smiled. "Call Junqiang's mother tomorrow to check if it's a boy." No woman in Li village ever left after childbirth. Those without children longed to escape. Those with children resigned themselves to their fate. Junqiang stared at my belly like it held gold. That night, I asked Junqiang to recount how we met. "You were 4 or 5, freezing outside a shop, no coat, crying like a kitten. It was a stormy night. Your parents probably abandoned you for being a girl." His words slurred into sleep, but I knew the subtext. "We saved you. You owe us." The next day, Junqiang's mother examined Ruyue and me. "It's a girl," she said of Ruyue. My turn left her stammering. "Multiple babies. Too early to tell gender." Uncle Funyun slapped Ruyue hard. "Useless college slut. Can't even bear a son." Her cheek swelled instantly, her dimple vanishing. Li village forbade baby girls. Abortions in town were prohibited. We all knew what awaited Ruyue. I clung to Junqiang, terrified of my own pregnancy. That night, screams erupted from Uncle Funyun's home. Ruyue had tried to escape and was being cleansed. Junqiang, tapping the table restlessly, eventually left to help. As his footsteps faded, my father-in-law's hand touched me, his breath reeking. "Junqiang likes prettier women. Now that he's tasted others, you'll come back to me." Memories flooded back. His leers, the grunts through the wall, my desperate grip on Junqiang's sleeve. "Your Li family, time to repay me." I retched. Mother rushed in with a cleaver, screaming, "Beast!" and hacking at Father's neck. As he roared in pain, she glanced at me and struck again. I fled to Uncle Funyun's, where men jeered at the sight of me. The night wind chilled me to the bone as I faced the horrors within. But Li Junqiang's forehead was drenched in sweat, his hunched figure no different from the laughing men of Li village, demons of the mountains worse than animals. Finally bleeding. "Now she's clean, can bear a son," they jeered, applauding as if Junqiang were a victorious hero. Ruyue's screams faded, replaced by the sickening stench of blood. Her chest stilled. "Why are you here?" Junqiang zipped up, sneering at Ruyue's broken body. "Mom killed Dad." The village erupted in chaos. Men had been processing Ruyue's female fetus, but now news spread. Li Nyang had hacked her husband to death. His eyeball had burst. Blood and urine pooled on the floor. Even his genitals were minced. By the time others arrived, Li Kexing was cold. The men of Li village vowed to tear my mother-in-law apart. As they raged, I helped Ruyue up. Her blank stare mirrored Mother's when she'd returned from Funyun's. I slapped her. "Do you want to escape? Miss tonight, and you'll never get another chance." I stripped off my clothes, dressing her to hide the bruises. "Run south along the river. Don't stop in town. Find media, police, the government in the city. Make this public. Understand?" She clung to me, tears streaming. "Come with me." This place is hell. I know you hit me to save me. Even after what they did, Funyan's brothers. Her words trailed, hands clammy. I pushed her away. I can't. Go. This is your only chance. Forget Lee Village. Go back to college, to dancing. I glanced at her ankle where blood trickled. As long as she lives, there's hope. She staggered away, figure shrinking in the moonlight. The riverbank was dotted with mounds, grass rustling in the wind. I'm not Junqiang. I turned toward the mountains as the village descended into madness. Mother was locked in a cellar. Her iron chain now bound my ankle. Funyan led searches for Ruyue, but she vanished. Furious, he stormed our home, blaming Junqiang. Junqiang slung an arm around me, stomach rounding slightly. Weren't you the one whose wife tried to run earlier? And if I hadn't helped that night, your father'd still be alive. Want to argue? Maybe I should report you to the village chief. His threat worked. Funyan needed the committee's approval for future brides. Alone, Junqiang gripped my chin. Did you help Ruyue escape? I batted my lashes. You're hurting me. How would I know? She wasn't chained like the others. His gaze chilled me, but I held it, softening my tone. You forget? I was abandoned. Your parents are mine. This is my home. I'm carrying your child. I'll always be Li Xiangxiang of Li Village. He kissed me roughly. Stay put. I'm going to work. Once he left, I dragged the chain to the kitchen. Behind the chopping board was a yellowed letter from Mother. February 4, 2000. I'm Shangwan, kidnapped to Li Village. My parents. November 13, 2000. Li Kexing forced me to bear this bastard. February 3, 2005. Junqiang said he'll buy a wife too. December 31, 2007. They brought a girl Chang. October 3, 2024. I will kill them all for Chiang. The letter listed 148 women's details. Names, origins, IDs. Mother had lost 6 babies, all girls, abused into miscarriages. I memorized the addresses, then fed the paper to the stove, watching it burn with my last tear. As my belly grew, Junqiang relaxed his guard. Funyan bought a new wife. Chunchang took a woman. Mother remained in the cellar. Guards paid for visits. One day, Junqiang unchained me. The new women won't listen. Funyan's brother got his penis bitten off by his wife. You're different, time to repay us. I met the woman at Funyan's. She was naked, skin blue with cold, stomach sunken. I draped my coat over her. You're pregnant, she croaked. 4 months. It's a girl. I named her Xiaoman. They took her. Please let me go. She's 3. She knows poems English. She knelt, skeletal limbs trembling. She kowtowed fiercely, each thud desperate. I just want to find my child. Please let me go. I steadied her, voice ice. You can't escape. Mountains surround us. Trucks come once every 2 months. Even the nearest town is a 4-hour drive. In your state. Impossible. She stared, absorbing every word. Gain strength. Serve the men. Bear a child. Then the chain might loosen. Understand? What's your name? Wang Shui. Survive first, Wang Shui. Only then can hope exist. That night, I slit a rooster's throat. At dinner, I placed drumsticks and wings in Junqiang's bowl, gnawing the head myself, sucking broth from the crushed bones. No longer did he share wings with me. My heart hardened. Did that useless Ruyue escape? I waited for a chance to flee this prison. On Lunar New Year's Eve, Old Li, the cellar guard, entered and fled screaming, ears bleeding. Men were feasting at the village chief's. Women chained, merged with shadowed homes. Crows circled. I memorized every captive woman's name, then ran south. Footprints in the snow, women emerged, sweeping them away, their eyes blazing with silent hope. I chanted their names. Wang Shui, Chengqian, Zhangkiki. Past Li the guard, now trembling. Stay back. Don't kill me. Chained women surrounded him like predators. Wang Shui struck first. I ran on. Cold wind howled, my swollen belly ached. Hours passed. I bypassed the nearest town, reaching an unfamiliar city. A cleaner gasped. Girl, your pants. Blood stained my legs. My hand on my belly, life flickered within. I sought media, police, the government, but collapsed. Call 120. A pregnant woman fell. I heard nurses. No ID, but her husband's coming. Junqiang's fake sobs. Thank you. I'll send a banner. Rage jolted my body awake. His cold gaze met mine. You belong to Li Village, in life or death. I snatched a fruit knife from a nearby pregnant woman, pressing it to her throat. Call the police. This man is a trafficker. Over 100 women trapped in that village. I recited names, birthmarks, scars. A man live-streaming shouted. I'm Wang Shui's husband. My daughter was just found. The woman I held whispered. My husband is a police officer. We'll help you. The knife clattered as Junqiang was pinned down. At the police station, officers' faces paled as they cross-checked names. Days later, news broke the largest human trafficking ring in years. I asked about Wan. Her home was demolished. She's in a nursing home, safe. Weeks later, a TV show reunited me with my family, parents and a brother who'd searched 20 years. You were stolen on your 5th birthday, Junqiang, they wept. Junqiang first son. 2 letters arrived. Ryuez apologized for her silence, offering a WeChat. I hesitated, then deleted it. Forget the nightmare. The second from a Suzhou nursing home. Shangwan had passed, leaving a note. Thank you, my daughter. My body decays, but my soul is forever free. Under bright lights, I hugged my family. Hope exists for all who refuse to surrender.